Try gun, people. Man, I swear. I guarantee you some cop, ex-cop did this. Cops in general are always out trying to make the new greatest invention. We're always buying lotto tickets because we want to hit the lotto so we can quit being a cop and just say screw it and leave. Uh, I can't tell you the number of cops that have second jobs or always into the next big thing that's going to make them rich. But anyway, maybe this was an ex-cop. So they have a new handgun attachment that this company's promoting, and it's aimed to save lives and make bullets non-lethal. You know, it's kind of like if we put a little warm jacket on a nuclear weapon, it'll make it friendlier. Come on, people. I mean, I just can't believe the logic. I mean, I understand that the PC world is crazy right now, but so this company makes this damn attachment for a gun. And it sets over top, and when you fire it, the bullet gets captured by this little thing, and the big thing flies out and hits you. And they're talking about it's less lethal, and I think Ferguson Police Department is trying it out. It's a California company, of course. California liberals, they'll tax it. Anything to make a gun. You know, if you say we're going to make guns bad or less lethal because guns are bad, California will be all over it. So when they show this gun, they say it's a clip-on, and this little thing right here just snaps on the top. And, I mean, it sounds great, and it looks great, and they have a little demonstration of it with the graphics. It looks cool. So here's the cool little graphic. It fires the gun. The little bullet catcher catches it. The top part flies off, and now you can use your gun as a regular gun. So it's just the first round becomes what they're trying to sell as a non-lethal round, meaning it's not going to kill somebody, it's just going to hurt them real bad. And the problem with this is the way they teach to attach it. So this little thing, obviously departments and people who are going to think this is a great idea for cops, the money and the cost involved to get a new item to every police officer, and then to train every police officer, and then when it doesn't work, to study, to categorize it, to make sure they're accounted for. Now we have to keep track. Now we have to hire somebody to issue them, to count them, to sign them out, and then when you use it, you got to do a police report, and that report has to go somewhere on where it was used, and then once the police department have it and they get popular, they'll double the price, and the government will require it, and they've invested all the money, and now they'll have to keep it. And I mean, it's such a scam when you can get into government. So this little piece here is going to be a clip-on. It's probably going to cost $75 a piece, and once they get a few government contracts and there's a few police articles where it saves somebody's life, then every agency will be calling for it. All the liberals will be singing it, and next thing you know, every agency, every cop will be carrying it and trained for it. It'll be a multi-billion-dollar industry and training and cost for the government. People will be cheering it. Meanwhile, they will never show the failures, the problems, when it didn't work, the cops that are killed that were trying to do it. So let's look at how they do their little video to use it. Okay, so let's take a look at their little training video. Again, this is used Fair Use Act, education, critique purposes.
Leslie. It's like an airbag for a bullet.
Wow, that sounds so cliche. It's an airbag for a bullet. It makes it friendly. Can we put a little smiley face on the front so it's friendlier and it won't scare the bad guy trying to stab us with a knife when we shoot him? When we have to clip on the cute little orange thing and we have to yell now, less lethal, kind of like taser, taser, taser. The more steps you add into police work, the more you slow down an officer's ability to protect himself, the more times you cause failure because you throw in more checklist into a already volatile, high-risk situation where checklists and things seem to slow down. And the more complex it is, the slower your reaction is, the slower you can make decisions, the less likelihood of you having that advantage. Cops are already behind the power curve because we're reacting to action. And reaction is always slower than action. Action gets to choose when, how, and they get all the decision process, and they get the element of surprise. Reaction is behind the power curve. So cops are already in reaction mode when we have to use force, because we have to determine policy and background and which gun to use, and should we use our taser, or should we go to pepper spray, or should we use our baton, and should we have background, and should we cover, and should we run, or should we go forward, and what should we do? And now we're going to add another option of clamping on a less lethal airbag bullet, and it's only good for one round. And then you're going to have all the legal beavers say, oh my God, he should have loaded twice. Why did he only use one? And then you'll have officers, some departments saying, you know what, we have our officers carry 3 of these because we don't want them just have the option of one. And then some other agency will say, you know what, we have guns now that have special holsters, and we make all our officers carry it on the gun. So now we don't have to have that extra step of them sticking it on. Again, it's a complex issue added to an already complex, fast-moving decision process where life and death counts, and you expect officers to be these robot, throwing in 1,400 steps.
It looks like a toy that attaches to a real gun, but it is nothing to play with. The new device is intended to give a suspect one last chance to live.
Put the knife down, sir.
Police.
Isn't that nice, the way that guy was just so calm, and he was able to reach down and pull out his little orange airbag for the bullet and place it on the gun so calmly in a safe, controlled environment where he wasn't worried about getting shot or hurt, or his background, or the neighbors and friends coming out yelling, or getting on the radio and requesting cover, or he didn't have to do any of that. And it just went so smoothly. Let's look at that again, because that's just a great example of real-life police
Suspect
work.
one last chance to live.
Put the knife down, sir.
Police.
Wow, that was so smooth and easy. Wow, that's a wonderful device. Liberals will be hugging and singing Kumbaya on the streets about the new less lethal. Meanwhile, cops will be getting killed because they're not proficient, because they don't use it enough, because training on this thing, every time you use it, is going to cost an extreme amount of money, and you're going to have to use it, at least 5,000 times in order to get proficient with it, and most people aren't going to do it. It's going to be another, a checkbox that is going to it's just ridiculous.
Decide the situation is dangerous enough to use lethal force.
Less lethal, less lethal. Bang. It's actually created by a retired sheriff officer, and he did not
There you go, a cop trying to make a buck.
like the fact that people were being shot when the officers do have time, but they have.
Oh, he didn't like that cops are bad guys are being shot when the officer has time. Officers don't have time. That's the key. That's why people are getting. There was only like 450 people, I think, killed last year by officers. I mean, if you watch the news, you would think there's 40 a day being killed. 400 people out of 330 million people with all the crime that we got is not that high, people. But, again, the narrative is guns are bad, guns are dangerous, cops are dangerous, we need to get the guns in order to keep you safe. I get it. But this is just another ploy to get government money, to have government spend billions in training. Man, this is just ridiculous.
Had no other option in lethal force.
The makers say it's not to be used in split-second decisions, but only when an officer has 3 seconds or more to.
So it's not to be used in split-second decision. Well, how does the officer know he has 3 seconds or more? Well, he should know, Rick. And if he doesn't know, then the media will be saying he didn't follow policy. And he should have followed policy, and he had 3 seconds. But he didn't know that, and he should have known that, so therefore we need more training. More training will give him more time and more equipment and more decisions, and if we have him carry a taser, a less lethal, a beanbag gun, a pepper spray, a baton, and just train him on spit in the eye to disable the guy from seeing him, then he'll be safe. Unfreaking believable.
To react. What does this do to the body?
Well, it's going to feel like getting hit in the chest by a Major League Baseball player with a hammer.
The bullet merges with the metal bulb, which travels about 1/5 the speed of a regular bullet. It could definitely break. I mean, could it kill you?
It absolutely could, but we know a bullet can.
Listen to her. Look at this. Couldn't it kill you? Oh my goodness. You're firing a gun with a bullet at somebody coming at you trying to kill you. Couldn't it kill you? Yeah, it can kill you, you freaking idiot. That's the purpose of it, to kill you before you kill me. Freaking CNN liberal left crap.
Kills you. There is a possibility that this could kill you, but it is very slight when you compare that to a bullet.
CEO Christian Ellis says after 9 years in development, it's ready. No peace! It comes as police across the country face intense scrutiny and protest over the killings of unarmed suspects. So far, there is only one police department in America that has decided to test the device. Ferguson, Missouri. Yes, that Ferguson. The department that became the catalyst for nationwide protests against police tactics after
Nationwide protests. Well, actually it was just one group of people protesting in different areas supporting the left, but whatever.
its officer shot to death unarmed teenager Michael Brown. Why is Ferguson looking at this device?
This is something that we just happened to run across, especially considering the outcry about saving lives, even lives of people that you're trying to apprehend. That this might be something that was worth looking.
Of course you want to try it. It ain't your money, it's taxpayer money. So you're going to put all this effort into this. You're going to train cops half-ass. You're going to give them another option. You're going to increase liability because now you're going to have news media and idiots out there talking about why didn't a cop use the little orange bear bag? Why didn't he use his airbag? He could have used the airbag. He had time. Why didn't he use the airbag? Why didn't he use his taser? He could have used the taser instead of the airbag. Somebody's going to die from the airbag bullet, and then it'll be like, why is he using the airbag? It can kill people. And then we'll have all this money invested in thousands and millions and billions of dollars across the country to train on this new thing, and nobody will use it. It'll be another piece of equipment on the side that'll do nothing but get cops blamed more for not using it or using it when they shouldn't have used it. And then when a cop gets killed because somebody used it when they should have used a gun, and then you'll have all the pink panty brigade out there who are working as cops always wanting to use it, and then they'll be saying the other cop should have used it and I used it and I was able to load mine. And this is a bad idea. Now look, the concept sounds like most liberal ideas. It sounds so peaceful and loving and great and kind, and we should do it, and we should try, and Rick, if it saves one life. Look, if we outlawed cars, we would save a lot more than one lives, but it's just not reasonable. And this isn't a reasonable alternative. Cops already have too many options when they get down to using force, physical, escalation of force, verbal. I mean, there's just so many things that a cop has to do in a split-second decision when he's trying to save his life. You're always going to get questioned, and when you throw in more things for an officer to try to figure out in that split second on which one to use, which one should I use, do I have time, did I have time, should I have used this, should I load, oh no, it didn't load correctly, can I shoot him, oh no, it's too late. The officer's dead. It's just a bad idea. I don't like it. I'm sure I'm going to get heat from the manufacturer, the company, that I don't know what I'm talking about, whatever. Evidently, Alternative Ballistics, you can go to their website and watch the whole video. Here's another little clip of them shooting and using it. Again, under controlled conditions, not under stress, not worried about policy background, which gun to use, should they draw their gun, when do they clip it, what happens if they have to reholster their gun once they clap it on. None of the factors that are going to happen in real life are discussed. It's only a sales pitch.
Suspect, it might be the only thing that could save that suspect's life. It's a blast of vicious steel akin to getting hit by a hammer that Barry Bonds was swinging. But the creators say the alternative doesn't puncture.
They will be hurt, but they will be alive. So all we're trying to do is make that.
Yeah, because that's the major concern of somebody who's risking their life, is that the other person is alive. Because in war, we shouldn't be trying to kill the enemy. We should be trying to make sure they stay alive. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, make your own conclusion. That's my take on it. I think it's BS. Well, isn't that there?